For this, you will need excavator substrate and the Great Stuff expanding foam. Any of these will work. So, first off, you need to secure the first hide that you're using, and I'm just using expanding foam to put in this foam hide, and then I'm going around the corners to make sure that nothing can get under it. And then I started putting the pots in and going around the pots, and the foam just kind of sticks to everything, so it works out pretty well. You just stick the pots in if you're adding plants, and then put the foam around them, and then start to fill in just the glass only. And then you take your substrate. I'm using excavator. That's what I recommend for this because it's the easiest, has good color, and it works wonderfully wonderful. I don't really care how to say it, but just add more expanding foam to what you need or want. Just remember that the expanding foam does expand to more than what you're spraying, so just keep that in mind. But be sure to sprinkle the stuff on before it starts to dry, or otherwise you'll have to glue it down, and that's not fun. So that's pretty much all you need to do, and it took me about 2 cans of expanding foam just to make the whole background, and that was about maybe they were about $3 a can, so that's like $6, and then it's $10 for a 10-pound bag of excavator. So it's not that expensive for making this, and it also looks really nice. Once you have all of that base layer and everything done, you can let it dry overnight, and it should be dry in the morning. Now you can also make separate ledges that will be flatter than what you might do in here inside the aquarium, and this is the easiest way to do it. You just take some cardboard, sprinkle some excavator on it to make it easier to rip off the cardboard. The excavator substrate that you sprinkle on the cardboard is kind of like oil for baking a cake or something, like Pam or anything like that. It just makes it slide off easier, and it also gives it a better texture and color and everything. So once you have the ledge, you just remember you can cut it afterwards to make it fit the terrarium. And I'm adding another plant box thing right here, but I ended up not using this ledge because it was too big. I made it too big, and I didn't really have room for it. But you just kind of put the expanding foam around it, then just sprinkle the substrate on, and that's pretty much all you do. Be sure to let it dry before you put any plants or animals or anything live into the aquarium or anything. Just to be safe, I would let it stay for 2 to 3 days because the expanding foam usually dries in a few hours. But just to be safe, 2 or 3 days. And this is before I added all the plants. It was the next day, and I already added all the substrate, and after the plants it looks a lot better. And that's pretty much all you need to know. For the plants, I just used bottoms of water bottles, and that is what I used to hold all the water for the plants. And then I used rockwool cubes to hold the moisture, and I just kind of rooted the plants into the rockwool cubes, and it worked out pretty well. This is just the whole cage, and that is how to make a cheap and easy background.